Hello, hello, all. So, here is my next installment in Books I Love. And this one is Lord of Mysteries by Cuttlefish That Loves Diving. It is a Chinese web series. You see right here, Cuttlefish That Loves Diving. The name doesn't look that ridiculous when it's in Chinese, obviously, but it is a pen name. All right, and you can see it right here, Lord of Mysteries. See, with the rising, so it is a steampunk sort of setting, but you get the supernatural elements as well to it. All right, you have here, waking up to face a string of mysteries, Zhou Mingru finds himself reincarnated as Klein Moretti in an alternate Victorian-era world where he sees a world filled with machinery, cannons, dreadnoughts, airships, different machines, as well as potions, divination, hexes, tarot cards, sealed artifacts. All right, so there's a lot of tarot card related things in this. Let's see if I can get to the... All right, so the sort of magic system works. It's sort of like a path to godhood sort of situation going there, and it's all based on tarot cards. And Klein Moretti, the main character, he follows the fool's pathway, which leads to sort of like divination, kind of telling the future and stuff like that. So I think the first path in the fool's pathway is the clown, and with the clown, I believe he gets slight divination ability, and he has great balance. He has great balance, and I think dexterity as well. So his first weapon was like a gun, because the clown pathway doesn't give you really a lot of abilities. And I think the second in the pathway is faceless. So all the volumes follows the fool's pathway. And the last one is the fool, which is the god in that pathway. So let's see if we can find... hold on a second. Characters, no. I want to see the pathway, list of characters. I know the characters. Content. No. What is happening? No. Ah. Okay, so these are the characters. Tarot Club, RB Hall. I believe she follows the Justice pathway. Archery Hall. She's like she's one of the characters that Klein Moriarty pulls into his Tarot Club. So she follows the pathway of justice. Of course, she's very naive, and she's an aristocrat. She grew up quite rich. I believe her father is a count or something like that. I don't remember this character. Lumian Lee? I don't remember him. All right. List of Beyonders. Ah, come on. This thing's so difficult to... Pathways. Ah, there we go. All right, so here are the pathways. You can see it follows gods. So under the fool's pathway, you also have the error path and the door pathway. The door pathway, I believe they get to teleport and stuff like that. Almighty God, because there's different gods in this world, and I believe the pathways are sort of like cyclical. So the god of every pathway locks in the last path in that pathway. So if there's a god in whatever pathway you're following, you would have to kill that god in order to assume that pathway. And every god in that pathway, if they're a higher up in that pathway than you are, they're sort of they can sense you. So you can't really sneak up on them, right? So you got the demoness pathway. I think these are one of the most interesting pathways. The demoness and I think the hunter. The hunter. Where's the hunter one? Hermit? No. No. Is it death? Tyrant? Hangman. No, that one is like the zombie pathway. Visionary. I think it's probably the tyrant. I'm not sure. But the demoness pathway and the hunter pathway, they both pretty much make you trans. So if you follow the hunter pathway, when you reach a certain point, I think when you reach like the levels go from 9 all the way to 0, and 0 is a god. And if you follow those two pathways, I think around the sixth series in the path, you turn into a different gender. The hunter pathway turns you into a man regardless of what you started as, and the demoness pathway turns you into a woman regardless of what you started as. So I think the witch path in the demoness pathway is when you turn into a woman. All right, so those are the most insidious paths. If you don't know what you're getting into, you're gonna end up just being a different gender than what you started as. And the demoness pathway is evil regardless. You could start as a good person. So I believe the first path in the demoness pathway is like criminal or something, where you're just pretty much just committing crimes, and you don't know when you become a witch. You become a woman. You have no freaking clue. So you just become a woman, and you're pretty much screwed. You're just locked into being a woman, and you become evil because you start as a criminal. I think you become like an instigator or something, where you just sort of like turn people against each other and commit all kinds of crimes, and then you get to a witch, and witches, in order to like advance in the witch path. Oh, the advancements. I should talk about that. Each pathway that you follow, you have to play a role. So the fool is the first the clown is the first in the fool pathway, which is what the pathway that the main character follows. He has to pretty much act like a clown. Like you have to act like a clown because each pathway you have to like digest a potion. And in order to digest the potion, you have to play the role of whatever the pathway is. So as a criminal pathway, you have to do crimes in order to digest the potion, and in order for you to advance to the next potion, in order to move up the pathways. So it's a very interesting story. All right. So no, it wasn't clown. It was seer. Seer is the first in the pathway, and that's when you get divinations and stuff like that. You get brief like glimpses of the future. And clown is the second. That's when you have to act like a clown. A magician, when he became a magician, he pretty much had to. I think that was the most interesting because he had to set up magic tricks and stuff like that, and he created a grand magic trick around a plot, I guess, and I think he digested the potion in like one go because he set up his enemies, and in order to set them up, he made a deal with a bunch of other people. So there was like a faction of there was a separate faction that was like creating a revolution, and he talked them into. Because there was some people chasing them, I believe, and he made a deal with them to set up their enemy. So they set up their battle, what they're gonna have with their final enemy. Some guy was like chasing them because they're terrorists. So the guy was chasing them to stop them from doing terrorist acts. He set up a plot with them so they draw in their enemy for their final battle, and he did a magic trick around their final battle or something like that to digest a magician's potion. It was pretty cool. It was pretty cool stuff. Anyway, so that's my recommendation The Lord of Mysteries is a very interesting story. If anyone's interested in it, I would recommend it. Anyways, till next time.